Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at 10 of the strongest duo Q synergies for season 10. Now these are going to be only focused on mid, jungle, and top. I already did a video recently focused on just bot lane synergies, so if you do want to take a look at that one to get an idea of what are some good bot lane synergies right now, you can do that. But in this video we're only going to be focused on mid, jungle, and top. And just one thing to note before we get started, I'm not going to be including the Taric Master Yi synergy in this video. It is probably the most broken boosting strategy or duo Q strategy you can play right now, but I personally just hate playing with it, hate playing against it. I don't think it should even be in the game, so I'm not going to be promoting it in this video for that reason. So for the first synergy, it's going to be a mid jungle one, and it's going to be Karthus paired up with Pike. So this synergy here pretty much all revolves around your ult cooldown. You want to be fighting only when those abilities are up, because what you can look to do when both of them are up is Karthus doesn't even need to ult when the enemies are low on HP. What you can do is Karthus can just ult once he's got a couple items. If he drops them to like half HP, Pike can just swoop in, get a reset with his ultimate there, and start cleaning up kills in fights. So the champions just synergize really well with each other, because the Karthus ultimate, if he gets really fed, if he gets a ton of items, it just allows Pike to reset in team fights really easily. At level 6, what you can do as well is Pike can just look to go for roam down bot lane. Karthus could be on the top side of the map, and if you guys are in comms, or if Pike just calls it out for Karthus to use his ultimate, he can just ult, not even for the kill, just to get the enemies low down bot lane. Pike can come in, get a reset, or just get a kill with his ultimate. So the champions do just synergize really well with each other. Both of their ultimates just work off each other really nicely. Next synergy is going to be your ultimate early game dive combo, and it's going to be Elise paired up with Pantheon. So I'd say these two champions arguably, or not even arguably, just the two best dive champions in the game for the early levels. Once you do hit level 3 with your Elise repel, with your Pantheon E, you pretty much have the ability to take no damage from towers if you play it correctly, if you juggle the aggro well, and it just allows you to just set up a very free dive at level 3 there. So Pantheon can just look to shove in the wave into the enemy's tower. Elise swoops in behind, just picks up very free kills, and you can just do this over and over again. Like once you get one kill with this combo, there's really no counterplay to it. The enemy can just be sitting under his tower, and he's just gonna die over and over because of how strong their dive is. So ideally, how you want to execute on the dive is Elise should be looking to take the turret aggro first. So Elise takes the aggro. Once she gets a little bit low, she can look to use her repel to drop the aggro. And then if Pantheon still needs to take aggro, he doesn't use his E until the very end. So you want to be saving your E with Pantheon there. Wait until like the turret aggro drops onto you, and then you use your E. So if you play it well, you really should take no damage from the tower at all, or you shouldn't take no damage from the tower. Elise could take a few tower shots, but you should not die when executing this dive if you do it properly. So third synergy in the video is going to be Zac with Yasuo. So with how good Zac is right now, I think this synergy gets even better for the meta that we're in at the moment. Zac and Yasuo just play off each other so well. Zac just looks to gank at level 6 for Yasuo. He doesn't even need to hit his E. As long as he can hit like one of his 3 knock-up abilities or displacement abilities, Yasuo can ult off of that. So even if he misses his E, if he hits his Q, Yasuo ults off of that. If he just hits his ult, which should be very simple to do with Zac, Yasuo can ult off of that as well. So the champions just have the ability to just get very free kills at level 6, and once you do reach the mid to late game, it's so easy for Yasuo to just play off a Zac knock up and get like multi-man ultimates off in fights. And then once you do get your lead in the early game with this combo, once you get rolling, just make sure you don't play too overly aggressive for no reason and throw your lead. This is what a ton of Yasuo players tend to do. So once you do get a lead in the early game, get vision around objectives, play around those objectives, and then look to go for picks with the Zac E. If you can just get vision, sweep vision, and then find picks with that Zac E, it's going to be very easy for you to close out games with this combo. So in my opinion, the best global duo strategy you can play right now is Shen with Twisted Fate. So this one gets even better upcoming for 10.5 here, because Twisted Fate getting direct buffs, his blue card is getting an AP ratio buff. So this makes the combo even better because they're 1-3-1. Their ability to split push gets even better for 10.5. Shen's also one of the better top laners right now. He received indirect buffs the past 2 patches now with the Sunfire Cape buffs in 10.4, and then coming up in 10.5, he's getting Titanic Hydra buffs. So really nice for him. If you can just execute the macro with this combo at a decent level, you can just destroy games with TF and Shen. So ideally what you want to do is you want to have TF in one of the side lanes, Shen in the other, and you can just play off of each other. So if TF is split pushing down bot lane and he's able to 1v1 anybody in the game, if the enemy does have to send multiple members down bot lane, you have the option of either just doing Baron. If they send a couple members bot with the Shen, you can use your ultimate down bot lane on the Twisted Fate and turn a 1v2 into a 2v2, and then you can continue to split push bot lane and just get multiple towers down there. So you just draw a ton of pressure on the map with this combo, and if you know how to play macro at a pretty good level, then you can just destroy games with TF and Shen. You also do have extremely good backdoor potential with this combo. So say for example, you're able to split push with TF, you're able to get to the enemy's inhibitor tower, or you take down the enemy's inhibitor, you can just group up for Baron, force the enemy towards you at Baron, and then once that wave crashes in bot lane, don't even start the Baron, just wait for the enemies to come to you, and then you just look to use your Twisted Fate ultimate down to the enemy bot lane. You can Shen ult in as well, and all your team has to do is not allow them to base. If they do that, then you just straight up win the game. So you just have so many win conditions with this combo here. You can split push, you can team fight pretty well, so it's just a great combo if executed well. So one of the best team fight combos in the game at the moment is Ornn paired up with Vladimir. So this is just such a deadly team fight combo because you got so much crowd control, so much engage from the Ornn, which really helps out the Vladimir, because Vladimir doesn't have any sort of he doesn't have any gap closer in his kit. He doesn't have any CC ability he can use to engage himself. He kind of relies on flashing in, getting a flash combo off in a team fight. But with the Ornn, it just makes it so much easier for Vlad, because if Ornn just gets a multi-man ultimate off, Vlad can look to play off of that. He can look to engage a lot easier, and it just makes for a very, very deadly team fight. So if you do reach late game with this combo, you should not lose games. If you get Ornn and Vladimir both to level 16, or not even to level 16, if you could just get to the Ornn upgrades, next patch that is getting nerfed, so I think it's going to be level 14 now for allies, level 13 for Ornn, so it gets a little bit weaker in 10.5 here, but it's still going to be very strong. If you can get to that point, get your Vladimir death cap upgraded, just so much more damage for fights. If Ornn gets to go for Abyssal Mask as well, he provides the Vladimir with more damage. He provides him with that % of extra damage there. So both these champions can just synergize really well with each other, and they can just basically 2v8 fights if played well. Alright, so if you want to make the enemy jungler completely useless and you want to make him just AFK a couple minutes into the game, then look to play Rengar and Rumble. This combo is just the ultimate invade combo. Rumble is going to have the ability to get priority in most matchups in the early game, so you just perma-shove with Rumble. Rengar looks to invade the enemy's red or blue buff. You just look to play off of each other, so just look to play off your Rengar there, invade with him, and if you do that, the enemy jungler should really not even be able to farm a single camp in the game. You just keep getting that perma-prio with your Rumble. Rengar just lives in the enemy jungle, and because of how good Rengar is at invading, the enemy can't escape you. Once you've burned the enemy jungler's flash, he's not going to be getting away from you, and if Rengar can get just a little bit of a lead in the early game, it's so easy for him to just take over and snowball extremely hard. So this next synergy is going to be literally your run it down top synergy, and it's Nunu paired up with Darius. So what you want to look to do to execute this combo is, as the Nunu, even as early as level 2, you can just look to lane gank for the Darius. So you come down top lane, as soon as the Nunu is channeling his snowball in the Fog of War, the Darius looks to ghost onto the opponent, hook them in. This guarantees the knockup from the Nunu snowball, and because of the utility Nunu does provide, especially at level 6 there, with the slow from his E, with the slow from his ultimate, it just allows for Darius to stick onto his opponent really easily, get a fully stacked passive off on the opponent. There's no way you're going to escape a Nunu Darius if he's just ganking you over and over again, and if you don't have sums up. Even if you have your flash up, I'd say if you're pushed halfway to lane, you're not going to be escaping a Nunu Darius gank. So if you just look to repeat this over and over again, once you get a little bit ahead, the enemy's probably just going to be playing under his tower, so you can just look to execute dives. Pretty easy to execute dives with this combo. Nunu's going to be running the aftershock, so he can just look to tank up a ton of tower shots there, and you can just look to dive over and over again, and there's really nothing the enemy can look to do to counter it. So another really good early game mid jungle synergy is Fizz with Hecarim. So this is a really good dive synergy at level 6. You just look to Fizz ultimate in, Hecarim ultimate in, and there's really no counterplay to it. If you get hit by that Fizz ultimate, you're just gonna die straight up there. I was contemplating having Nocturne with Fizz for this combo because Nocturne Fizz very similar, like at the level 6, you just have very good dive. You look to get right on top of the opponent and burst them out. I do like the Hecarim Fizz a little bit better though, because pre-6 you do have a bit more kill threat. Like the Hecarim ganks pre-6, the ability to snowball the Fizz there is a little bit better, so you just have the ability to get a couple more kills in the early game, and then once you do hit the level 6, you just look to dive over and over, and then once you get a lead in your lane, just look to roam bot, look to roam top, snowball your other lanes, and you just have great snowball potential with this synergy. And then another really good 1-3-1 strategy is Tryndamere with Diana. So you got Tryndamere up in the top lane, Diana in the mid lane. Now you could swap out Diana for something like Echo. You could even swap out Tryndamere as well for something like Fiora. The main theme though to this synergy is that you just have two really good split push champions that can draw pressure in the side lane. So as long as you don't feed in the early game, just get to 2 to 3 items, throw your Tryndamere top or bot, throw your Diana top or bot, and just look to draw pressure. This is especially good, or like you can make this work really well at any elo, but in the lower elos, players tend to like not really know how to play against split push. They'll send like 5 members down bot lane for the Tryndamere, and then meanwhile you'll have Diana just taking 3 towers top lane. You'll have your team mid taking a couple towers. So usually, because the fact that players just don't know how to play around this split push strategy, if you can play it at a decent level, then you can just win games straight up by split pushing. And then lastly, for the final combo to round out the video, a super simple combo to execute, yet a very effective combo, and it's going to be Ramus with Talon. So this combo here, it just completely revolves around Ramus ganking mid and just hitting a taunt. Super simple to do. If you can't hit a taunt on Ramus, then I don't really know what to tell you, honestly. Just like look to gank mid with Ramus, hit your Q, hit your taunt. It allows for Talon to get a full combo off on the opponent, and if Talon can get a full combo off on the opponent early on in the game with Ignite, then he's gonna get a guaranteed kill there. So just look to rinse and repeat this, just keep ganking mid with the Ramus, and then once you do hit the level 6, both these champions can get around the map very quickly with the Talon E, with his Moby boots, with the Ramus Q. So just look to coordinate a dive play either top lane or bot lane, ideally down bot lane. Ramus runs the aftershock, so he can just tank up the tower very easily. He's got his W as well, which allows him to tank up the tower. So really good dive potential down bot lane at level 6. Look to execute on that, and if you do, just play around mid, snowball bot at level 6, then you should very easily win a ton of games with this combo. Alright, so that's gonna be it, guys. Those were 10 combos right now for duo queue that I think are some of the strongest you can look to climb with. Obviously, there's a lot more combos in the game that you can play. These aren't the only combos that you can have success with in duo queue, but these are some of the best in my opinion right now, and some of the ones that, if played to the fullest potential, you can have the most success with. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.